At Strayer University, we help students like you go from, is it possible? To anything is possible by offering access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses, so you can reach your goals affordably and fast. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. No-cost gen eds provided by Strayer University affiliate Sophia. Eligibility rules apply. Connect with us for details. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
This episode is brought to you by Dogfish Head Craft Brewery. The Grateful Dead and Dogfish Head have gotten the band back together with the release of Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale, a light-bodied pale ale brewed with sustainable Kernza grains, granola, and heaps of good karma for a refreshing brew that's music to your taste buds. Available nationwide. Visit dogfish.com to find Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale in your neck of the woods. Dogfish Head Craft Brewery is located in Milton, Delaware. Please drink responsibly.
No matter how you travel, it's good to have a plan. Some people plan every minute. No sleep, bus, museum, another museum, while others only plan to take it day by day. When it comes to your finances, a plan is just as important. You can count on Credit Karma to give you the insights you need to understand your options, so you can take charge of your financial path and find your way to money. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on. Download the app today.
Oh, tasty high note. Oh, hi, don't mind me. I'm practicing my new baritone sax. I just heard PayPal's paying for people's stuff every day for 100 days, and there's 10 million up for grabs. All you have to do is use PayPal checkout online. So there's never been a better time to buy a few things off the old wish list. Like this leaf blower! PayPal can pay for your purchase. The Great PayPal Checkout.
No purchase necessary ends July 18th. See official rules at paypal.com/thegreatpaypalcheckout/terms. Participating merchants only must use PayPal checkout online. Coverage of up to $100 and eligible purchases per card.
I'm 32, juggling family, working full-time, and earning a bachelor's degree. At University of Phoenix, I earn career-relevant skills with every 5-week course. Skills I can use now, not just after graduation.
Earn skills in weeks, not years. Visit phoenix.edu.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Abstract. This article discusses strategies for constructively addressing microaggressions, which are subtle verbal, nonverbal, or environmental slights that communicate hostile or derogatory messages to marginalized groups in the workplace. Microaggressions undermine diversity and inclusion efforts and have negative consequences for targets' well-being and companies' productivity and legal liability. The article defines common types of microaggressions and explains why they are important to address. It then outlines factors targets should consider when deciding whether and how to respond, and provides research-backed strategies such as respectfully educating the aggressor, describing personal impact, inquiring about intent, addressing systemic issues, setting boundaries, or removing oneself from the situation. Examples are given of how different strategies could be applied in healthcare, technology, education, non-profit, and government contexts. The conclusion emphasizes that addressing microaggressions requires both individual interpersonal skills and organizational support through policies and training. As diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives take hold in organizations across industries, a crucial yet often overlooked challenge remains: how to effectively address subtle forms of bias and discrimination that occur on a daily basis. Known as microaggressions, these everyday verbal, nonverbal, and environmental slights, snubs, or insults, whether intentional or unintentional, communicate hostile, derogatory, or negative messages to target individuals based solely upon their marginalized group memberships. Su et al. 2007. Left unaddressed, microaggressions have damaging consequences, compromising workplace cultures of belonging, well-being, engagement, and productivity. Yet microaggressions also represent teachable moments for targets to assert themselves. and for perpetrators to become aware of blind spots and learn to do better. Today we will explore strategies for constructively addressing microaggressions when they arise in the workplace. Defining microaggressions. Microaggressions refer to everyday exchanges that send denigrating messages to people of color, women, LGBT individuals, and other marginalized groups, because of their group membership. Sue. 2010, p. 16. They are subtle, often automatic and nonverbal exchanges which are lead insults based on one's race, gender, class, sexuality, language, immigration status, or other identity. Sue, 2010. Common microaggressive themes in workplace contexts include ascription of intelligence.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at polestar.com.
Occurs when others are surprised at competency or assume affinity for certain activities based on group membership, e.g. assuming a woman is the secretary. Second-class citizen. Occurs when a person feels their opinions are less valued or that they need to work harder to be perceived as legitimate. Micro-invalidations. Occur when the experiences or feelings of marginalized groups are negated or dismissed. Exoticization. Happens when others sexualize, objectify, or assume stereotypical traits about identity. The covert nature of microaggressions means targets often feel unsure if offense was intended, making the aggressions difficult to prove or address directly. Sue et al. 2007. However, their cumulative effect on the target's mental health, work performance and relationship building cannot be underestimated. Significance of addressing microaggressions for targets of microaggressions. The psychological toll can include feelings of powerlessness, frustration, invisibility, and being mentally exhausted. Sue. 2010. Physically, targets report higher stress, greater risk of cardiovascular disease and other health issues. Sue. 2010. In the workplace, microaggressions damage relationships, trust in leadership, and undermine inclusion efforts. They promote attrition, as targets who feel disrespected or constantly on guard are more likely to leave their jobs or organizations. Jones et al. 2016. From an organizational perspective, an unchecked microaggressive culture directly impacts bottom lines. It leads to loss of talented employees, reduced productivity and engagement. It discourages diversity in hiring and promotion as marginalized groups self-select out of hostile environments. It also increases legal liability, as targets who perceive the environment as hostile may pursue litigation. Jones et al. 2016. Addressing microaggressions is a social justice issue, but also a business imperative. Leaders who foster cultures of belonging see improved performance, creativity and decision-making. Herring, 2009. By developing strategies for constructively addressing microaggressions, organizations empower all staff to reach their full potential. Deciding to respond for targets facing microaggressions. Deciding whether or how to respond involves weighing complex factors. Safety and avoiding retaliation are top concerns that will vary based on identity, role and workplace dynamics. A target's inclination may also depend on whether they perceive the aggressor as open to feedback or a lost cause. Some additional considerations include frequency and severity of incidents. Is it an isolated occurrence or a constant stressor? Are aggressions overtly hostile or somewhat ambiguous? Preserving relationships. How important is the relationship? Will addressing it harm the target's ability to work with that person? Support system availability. Are allies and HR leadership likely to believe and supported a target's experience? Cost-benefit analysis. What are the chances of positive change through intervention versus continued harassment? How much energy is the target willing to expend? Documentation. Keeping documentation of incidents may aid addressing issues higher up if needed. But self-care is also important. With these factors in mind, in lower stakes incidents, targets may choose to overlook, politely ignore, or subtly set boundaries. For ongoing or impactful aggressions, some form of respectful communication with the aggressor may be warranted if the target feels empowered to do so. Intervention strategies when targets decide to directly address microaggressions. Research identifies several strategies with merit. The approach taken should suit the target's communication style and assessment of what will most effectively change behavior in a particular situation or workplace culture. Allies can also employ strategies when witnessing microaggressions impacting others. Educate respectfully, calmly yet assertively explaining how a remark felt invalidating or biased can increase understanding without accusations. Targets may say something like, "When you said X, it came across as suggesting Y about my identity. In the future, could we avoid making assumptions?" This models polite yet forthright communication. Describe personal impact. Sharing how microaggressions personally affect targets on an emotional level can foster empathy in aggressors. For example, comments like "that make me feel disrespected and anxious about being here. I just want to do my work without feeling othered." This shifts focus to the target's humanity rather than blaming. Inquire about intent, asking aggressors kindly, "Can you help me understand what you meant by that?" Gives them chance to correct their behavior, admit fault, or clarify a misunderstanding. Allowing for resolution. It also signifies the target's willingness to see multiple perspectives. Address systemic issues, for incidents suggesting deeper cultural problems. Targets may respectfully inform leadership of concerns to improve organizational policies. Trainings or handling of complaints accountability. Gathering courageous allies enhances impact of such interventions. Speak to broader issues rather than individual infractions. Set boundaries firmly, if previous strategies prove futile or aggression persists. The target may need to say authoritatively yet compassionately. Comments like "that will not be tolerated. This behavior must change." Make consequences clear if transgressions continue, such as involving HR or ending engagement with the offending party. Remove yourself, as a last resort if feeling unsafe or unsupported. Targets have the right to politely exit toxic situations by removing themselves physically or through other means like transferring departments. No one deserves ongoing abuse in their workplace. Applying strategies in practice. Let's examine how these strategies may be used in specific industry contexts. Healthcare. A nurse faces assumptions she can't juggle family due to ethnicity. Using strategy 1 respectfully, she can inform coworkers, "While I appreciate the offer to help with my shift, please don't assume my family commitments based on appearances. We all manage our lives differently." Technology. An engineer is mistaken for administrative staff. With strategy 2, she could say, "Being addressed unprofessionally really frustrates me. I work very hard and want to focus on my contributions, not how I'm perceived." Higher ed. A professor of color finds complaints about course rigor linked to their identity. Employing strategy 3, a respectful inquiry could prompt self-reflection. "I noticed that theme in your feedback. Could you help me understand what led you there so I can improve for all students? Nonprofit, leadership fails to address culturally insensitive jokes. Using Strategy 4, an advocacy group might share anonymized member stories and recommendations on improving the complaint process and accountability. Public sector, a transgender employee faces ongoing misgendering. With Strategy 5, a clear warning could be warranted, referring to me that way stops now. Let's move forward with respect. Retail, customers target frontline staff with slurs. If not addressed by management, despite Strategy 4/5. Strategy 6 of removing themselves from harm may be the safest choice, such as requesting a transfer. In each scenario, targets responded respectfully yet assertively using research-backed strategies tailored to their context and desired outcome of creating a more just and inclusive workplace culture. For meaningful change, ongoing education and systemic improvements like clear policies are also needed from organizational leadership. Conclusion: microaggressions inflict daily harms in workplaces that undermine diversity and inclusion goals. By developing skills to constructively address them when they occur, targets and allies can turn subtle acts of bias into learning opportunities, rather than internalizing toxicity or merely tolerating unfair treatment in silence. Organizational leaders play a key role in fostering environments where all staff feel empowered and supported to call out microaggressions respectfully through clear guidance, effective complaint procedures, accountability, and ongoing cultural competency training. With open communication and a shared commitment to continuous progress, workplaces have the potential to become spaces where people of all backgrounds can contribute freely and to their fullest potential.